Here, buddy, it's Mark again. I'm working on my friend Nathan's clock. Remember last time we talked about this clock? This clock had some broken teeth on the comb of the music box. Well, he ordered some parts off of Etsy. He got them in. So I'm going to take the music box out of this clock and replace the comb. And typically the music box is easier to get out than the one on this clock, but there's two screws that hold the music box. I already took one screw out, and here's the other screw that I have to take out. So bear with me while I take that screw out. My hands barely fit in this clock. So now I should be able to take the music box, hopefully take the music box out. Well, I think there's another screw up front. So, I'm going to do it the hard way. I'm going to put these screws back in, and then I'm going to take the comb out and try to adjust the comb while it's inside. This case. I didn't want to do it that way, but I'm going to have to do it that way because I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's the man is connected. There's a wire that goes underneath these two blocks. If I was to take up these two nails, this whole assembly should come out. But putting those nails back in might cause some damage. It's dinged if you do and dinged if you don't type of situation. So I'm going to do what I said I was going to do in the first place. I'm going to take the comb out and adjust the comb. Well, it's inside the case. So stand by and let me take the comb out. There's two screws to take this comb out, so stand by. Here's the broken comb, and there's a screw. The last screw has got parts here that are attached to it, and I didn't want to take that all the way out. So now I need to put the other comb in, and so that's what I'm going to do now. So stand by. I have the comb in. I don't know whether I need to adjust it or not. So I'm going to trip the music. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's no teeth moving whatsoever. So I have to loosen these screws, push the comb toward the drum, and see if I can tighten the screws down. Normally I would have a business card, but the width of the comb and put between the comb and the drum, but there's hardly any room for me to put my fingers in there, much less anything else. At least I had music that time. So anyway, it's just a matter of adjusting the comb by loosening the screws, pushing, pulling, until I get it to where I like it. So stand by and let me do that. I think I have it adjusted. The true test is when I add a weight and a chain on, but let's see if I can trip this thing while it's on camera. Now, you only want the teeth to barely pluck. They pluck too much. It's too hard. It's hard on the teeth. And I got another video on how to set this clock with the little man that comes out. I can go ahead and connect the little man to the door. Stand by. But there's this lever, a wire right here that goes on top this main plate of the drum for the chain wheel, and that wire pushes the man out of the door. And when the music is done, that wire goes into a groove slot, which is this slot right here. So when it goes in, the little man will come back when the music's all done. Okay, but if the music is done playing, which it's not, and watch it, this brass lever is going to go into the hole of the music drum. This wire is going to go into the slot. If this wire doesn't go into the slot, when this brass piece goes into the hole of the drum, there's a screw on this thing that you loosen up, and then you could adjust this slot so the wire goes into the slot. There's a screw right there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but when it's all done, this went into the B cutout section. This brass assembly went into the hole of the drum, and the little man comes back in the door. But I think I got it fixed, and I didn't want to put a different new music movement in this clock. First of all, they're about $90, and this clock has the anniversary song. That's the tune that is playing, and so I wanted to keep it original, and that's why I told him to get the parts off of Etsy. So now I need to connect a chain to this, make sure the music is playing, and then put the movement back into the clock. So that's what I'm going to do. I hope y'all are liking this video. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Here I am cleaning up the chains. I have another video that talks about what I'm doing. You basically have a scrubby pad bent in half underneath this board, and then you have this clamp that I'm using to hold the board and rubbing the chain back and forth through the scrubby pad. I put them in my ultrasonic cleaner, but I still like cleaning them up this way. It shines them up a little bit. And how shiny you want them is depending on how much you sit here and do what I'm doing. But you also want to go through the chains afterwards. And again, I got a YouTube video that talks about cleaning the chains up. So check that out. These chains had some kind of grease on them. I'm not for sure exactly what it was, but... And I rub them through my hands like this. If there's a chain that's deformed, such as it's coming open, it's not like the other chains. When you rub it through your hand like that, you're going to be able to feel it. But I also look at the chains just in case I don't feel something. But anyway, I'm going to hook this chain up to the music box and see how that music box plays. Got the chain hooked up. I'm going to trip the music box. I got the weight 320 grams on. It plays as it's required to. The music box needs to be adjusted because it's not shutting off. It shut off that time. But I do have another video to show you how to adjust the music box. So now I'm going to put the movement back into this clock along with the bellows. But we're getting there. And I did want to mention the reason why you look for any deformalities in your chain after you rubbed it through the scrubby brush is because it might come up with little pieces, fiber and stuff from the scrubby brush. And if you look prior for any deformed links, you might have caused some deformed links as you were pulling it back and forth through the scrubby brush, depending on how much power you used. And if you have any hairs, fibers, etc. that are stuck in the chain link, they're going to go up in your clock. It's going to stop your clock. So make sure you check out the chain links prior to putting them into the movement. I got the chains on the movement. I'm putting the movement in the clock. I drop the chain down into the base of the clock. I put my magnetic screwdriver into the hole that it needs to go into. It picks up on the chain. I can pull the chain out. I put the movement minute arbor into the hole where you hang the clock while I'm doing all this. Because this has a musical movement on it, it's going to be a little bit trickier to do because I have to connect the wire that trips the music to this arm right here. So it's going to be trickier to do than your typical other clocks. So you're not going to be able to see me do any of this, so I'm going to do it off the camera. I take that back. You might be able to see what I'm doing. I don't have any of the screws in the movement of the clock. I got this doctor's tool that doctors use for stitching, and I got it connected to the wire that trips the music. And I'm trying to line up that wire with the hole of the arm. I don't want to bend that wire if I don't have to, but I will. That way I don't have to make more adjustments. This thing, like I call a doctor's tool, when you squeeze it, it locks it into place. That way you don't have to keep on moving it out of the way, readjusting your tools. I just grab a hold of the pliers, the doctor's tool, and hopefully line up the wire with that hole, which is almost there. There we go. It's lined up. Now I can release the doctor's tool, and that wire is in the arm where it needs to be. Hopefully you can see that. So now I have to put the bird on and then put all 4 screws in. So stand by. I have 3 screws in already, and I just want to explain again why I use magnetic screwdrivers for this. You just, if your screws are made of steel, you connect it to your screwdriver, and then you can line your screwdriver up with the hole which makes things a lot easier to do. Then, in this case, the chain keeps getting in my way. Remember, these are not true brass chains. They are metal also, so I have to get the chain out of my way to put the screw where it needs to go. So far, everything looks good. I'm going to put some weights on the music and the cuckoo side and test it out before I put the bellows in. You always want to do one step at a time, and you want to make sure that each step is being completed to your satisfactory before you go to the next step. If I was to put the bellows in and connect the chain washers and hooks on, and then go to test the clock, and there's something wrong, I have to take all that back out just to figure out what's wrong. So that's why I say, do something, test it. If it works, go to the next step. The screw right here, and that is for the brass lever adjustment. It was too close to the brass lever, and when the music tripped, it couldn't trip because it was hitting the screw. So I had to loosen the screw, move the brass lever over to the right, and then tighten the screw down. At the same time, I was holding the brass lever over to the right. So now, hopefully you could see that when the cuckoo, when I turn the minute arbor, there's the half hour. Music didn't play, and it's not supposed to on the half hour. I do need to adjust the fan that stops the governor, the wire that stops the governor fan. As you notice, there's a couple tunes at the end of the cuckoo that was playing on the music, and the music is not supposed to play as it is cuckooing. And there's that wire in the middle here that stops the governor fan from playing. Hopefully y'all could see that. Let me readjust my camera. Again, I have another video, especially on this clock. It's my most watched video. This wire here stops the governor fan from playing as it is cuckooing. And so I just need to make some final adjustments to this wire to prevent the cuckoo from cuckooing. Sorry, to prevent the music from playing as it is cuckooing. If this wire is adjusted too far to the right, the cuckoo will never stop cuckooing. So you have to make sure that this wire is adjusted just right. It's about time to put the bellows in this thing and get the clock back to them. So let me go ahead and put the bellows back in, and we'll get back to you. And then sometimes, no matter what you do, everything is going just perfect, and you add that next step, and everything that was working perfect previously quits working when you add that next step. Now, for whatever reason, it's not cuckooing. And so it's time for me to stop this video. I've been working at it long enough. I've got back issues. I have a procedure coming up on the 5th where they're going to cauterize a couple of my nerves. So hopefully that will help me out. So anyway, I hope y'all like this video. God bless. Nathan, we're getting there. I just gotta work on it some more. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and may God bless each and every one of you.